No one is slowing down in this hiring race for the right talent. That's why Principal wants to help you stay competitive by providing a comprehensive benefits package tailored to your company's and your team's needs. Because having the right benefits may help you reward and retain your team so they feel valued, motivated, and ready for the future. And that makes all the difference for your business. From large corporations to small and mid-sized businesses, Principal has the retirement and group benefits plans customized for your goals. Your company's future depends on its people. Give them the tools they need to succeed. Talk to your financial professional today about the right benefit plans from Principal. Principal Life Insurance Company, Des Moines, Iowa. For important information about our products, visit principal.com/disclosures.
Spoil Dad with the Father's Day at Lowe's, where you'll save big on the sweetest assortment of his favorite treats. Like a Craftsman 20-volt drill kit, was $79, now $69. Or gifts that sizzle, like a special buy Blackstone 28-inch griddle starter kit, now $278, valued at $329. There's nothing sweeter than Father's Day at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. While supplies last, about 6/9 through 6/15.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed, and today we toast 49-year-old Derisi Johnson of St. Petersburg, Florida. Now, you should know she has a rap sheet that includes 5 separate battery convictions, both felony and misdemeanor counts. It dates back to 2000, all right? Most recent conviction came in 2017 when she was sentenced to 90 days in jail for battery on a person over the age of 65. In that case, it was Rond, who suffered an eye injury and a bloody nose and lip after being struck in the face by her niece. This is just what she does. So it comes as no surprise that more recently, well, she found herself arrested, being held on $5,000 bond because her and her boyfriend are arguing about something that no one will specify what it was. And her go-to move, and of course she reacted with violence, but this is the first time I've heard this, she had a felonious assault with hot grits.
A felonious assault?
Oh, yeah. Felonious assault with hot grits, which I believe marks her as the first person in Florida history to get a felony for a grits attack. But essentially, whatever they're arguing about, she grabbed the pan and dumped the grits on his ass.
Ooh, that could not have been good.
He suffered minor burns, believe it or not. But one thing I really like is that they say the saucepan contained freshly cooked grits.
What a waste.
For some reason, I'm just like, I'll honor you for that, because that's goddamn ridiculous. And also, she reminds me of like 3 of my relatives.
Also, you gotta be, like, to throw something as a weapon that you just cooked, you gotta be pissed.
You just cooked it, man, and it's grits. But, yeah. We pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichona!
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Hey, Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. I just have to go grab my stack of stories. But we will share with you a real-life story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Shane. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Shane, you understand how this here game is played?
I do.
All right, then you know you have your choice of one of 3 stories. We have, of course, the wonderful world of drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
Let's go interior decorating.
Okay, let's.
Oh, yeah. Now, apparently false advertising this time. It is not, in fact, in the butt. It is in the penis. But here is the story. A teen in the United Kingdom, he had to undergo emergency surgery after a very dumb attempt to measure his own manhood resulted in him getting something lodged in his urethra. The phallic fiasco, as they're calling it, began after an unnamed 15-year-old boy was, quote, triggered by sexual curiosity and inserted something into his urethra. Now, the experiment backfired when the object became lodged in the teen's scrotum. Now, despite attempts to extract it himself, the object became tangled so terribly that both ends were left hanging out of his, as they say in England, willy. Now, the boy's family transported him to the hospital after he began urinating blood. After initial attempts to remove the object failed, the team was transferred to a different hospital to see if they could take it through what they call an intrapenile measuring tape. Anyway, the embarrassed boy asked to speak to the doctors without his mother present, whereupon he confessed to the frightening escapade. So basically, she realized he was peeing blood. He just said to Mom, I'm peeing blood, did not explain why he was peeing blood. But thankfully, the boy recovered without incident and was discharged from the hospital the next day. However, he did have to undergo a follow-up scan 2 weeks later and will require monitoring in the future. They say he should thank his lucky stars because assorting foreign objects into one's privates can lead to a host of complications from urinary tract infections to urethral injuries, which, by the way, other than naming my punk band urethral injuries, not a term I ever have to hear again. But here's the question. What did Playboy jam into his urethra? Was it a fishing line, yarn, a USB cord, or necklace? So fishing line, yarn, a USB cord, or necklace. He inserted one of these into his no-go.
I think it'd be pretty hard to get yarn up there, so it's probably one of the other three. What do you think, Ted?
I mean,
What would you put in your peeps, Ted?
fishing line, again, just because it's line, it might be strong, but it doesn't stay stiff. So it seems like it'd be hard to get up there.
Yeah.
I feel like
I don't know
all of
what-
these would be.
They would be. I don't know why. I feel like it's a weird USB plug. They just, put that one in the other.
All right.
Yeah.
Shane, what are you
I'm kinda
thinking?
the same way. I think I'm going to go USB.
Okay. All right. I know the answer to this one, so I'm going to take a seat on this one. We're going to find out what he stuck in his urethra. Was it a fishing line, yarn, a USB cord, or a necklace? Next.
That was a tease.
No one is slowing down in this hiring race for the right talent. That's why Principal wants to help you stay competitive by providing a comprehensive benefits package tailored to your company's and your team's needs. Because having the right benefits may help you reward and retain your team so they feel valued, motivated, and ready for the future. And that makes all the difference for your business. From large corporations to small and mid-sized businesses, Principal has the retirement and group benefits plans customized for your goals. Your company's future depends on its people. Give them the tools they need to succeed. Talk to your financial professional today about the right benefit plans from Principal. Principal Life Insurance Company, Des Moines, Iowa. For important information about our products, visit principal.com/disclosures.
A dad in Lowe's feels just like being a kid again. This Father's Day, find prices to treat him to the gifts he craves. Like $60 savings on your choice of a DeWalt 20-volt max brushless drill or impact driver kit. Was $159, now $99. Or an Ego 615 CFM blower, everyday low price of $199. There's nothing sweeter than Father's Day at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. While supplies last, about 6/9 through 6/15.
How did one man go from the scion of a Bay Area sausage company to triple murderer?
Bud Stewart was always just a little off the rails.
I'm Natalia Gurevich, and I explored this question and many others on The Sausage King, a new podcast from KCBS Radio and Odyssey.
He would park the truck with the pig and the straw in front of my campaign headquarters.
Didn't like to follow any rules.
Subscribe and listen now on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Categories: interior decorating on profile. This, we got a teen in the UK. He tried to measure himself. Inserted something in his urethra to do that. It got stuck in his scrotum. Boy did recover after surgery. Had to take him to a couple different hospitals to figure out how to get that bad boy out. Question is, what did he jam up there? A fishing line, yarn, a USB cord, or a necklace?
And Shane, that is the very question that we posed to you, but since you've already hung up, I'm just talking to, from afar now. But went with the USB cable, said yarn, obviously probably not stiff enough to actually insert into your urethra. What, you said
Correct.
fishing line. What was your argument with fishing line?
Same thing. It's just not, it's flimsy.
It is. Okay. Well, anyway.
You could have like a 10-pound test.
Mm-hmm. You are correct. USB cable.
Yeah.
You know what I hate about this is when I first saw this story, I thought it was one of the other 2 kids that have done the same thing from like 3-4 months ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, dude, I already have the story. Nope, this one's fresh.
Damn.
Let this be a lesson, kids. If you need to measure your penis, use a tape measure or a ruler.
Now, for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today. You got Seth Meyers. You got the Jimmys.
Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon.
Weekend Update.
Oh.
Bill Maher. Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there to try. All these guys have teams of talented writers that help them come up with the monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
During the opening day of Eminem's new restaurant, the rapper surprised guests by serving pasta himself. Not to be outdone, Macklemore got fired from the Olive Garden.
The Ted Smith.
Yeah, I'll say it's you.
Weekend Update.
During the opening day of Eminem's new Detroit restaurant, the rapper surprised guests by serving them pasta himself. Not to be outdone, Macklemore got fired from the Olive Garden.
This year marks the 50th anniversary of Disney World. And to celebrate turning 50, Disney World has opened a new ride, Mr. Goofy's Wild Colonoscopy.
The Ted Smith.
I hope that's you, Ted. I'll say Jimmy Fallon.
Weekend Update.
This year marks the 50th anniversary of Disney World. To celebrate turning 50, Disney has opened a new ride, Mr. Goofy's Wild Colonoscopy.
Some sports news. A pitcher for the Milwaukee Brewers confessed that he will miss the postseason because he punched a wall with his pitching hand. So if you're keeping track at home, that is Wall 1, the Brewers 0.
The Ted Smith, goddammit.
Yeah, that's me. All right. Said he had a couple drinks and then punched a wall when he became agitated.
We've all been there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
But we say, as a professional, just use your non-dominant hand.
Yeah. Someone just paid $3,000 at an auction for underwear that was worn by Michael Jordan. You can hear more about Jordan's underwear in the new ESPN documentary, The Last Pants.
Weekend Update.
Yeah, I'll say Weekend Update.
Fallon.
Someone just paid $3,000 at an auction for underwear that was worn by Michael Jordan. You can hear more about Jordan's underwear in the new ESPN documentary, The Last Pants.
The NBA announced that unvaccinated players will not be paid for any games missed due to local vaccine mandates. But that won't matter. NBA players have a long history of losing money because they refuse to use protection.
Bill Maher?
Weekend Update.
That's Weekend Update.
The NBA announced that unvaccinated players will not be paid for any games missed due to local vaccine mandates. But that won't matter. NBA players have a long, proud history of losing money because they refuse to use protection.
It's not it happens sometimes. Everybody watch Saturday Night Live this week?
I didn't. No.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't watched it yet either. I watched the opening, like the hard open or soft, whatever you call that.
Right.
But then, there was, you had Tom Brady back in New England last night. There was Sounders on. I got kind of wrapped up, so I'll watch it. But the big thing that happened over the weekend is Casey Musgraves, right? She's a female country singer. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people want to know, was she naked on Saturday Night Live? Mm-hmm. So basically what it is she comes out for her first song. She's sitting on a stool. She's got her legs crossed with cowboy boots. And then it's kind of dimly lit. Okay. But when you do see her, the strap's just, all you can really see is the strap going across her.
All right.
Yeah. She said it was a nod to Forrest Gump. When Robin did kind of the same thing. The lighting was dim. you could see there was a spotlight at the very end, but you couldn't tell. So basically, she was fine. For she came out for camera roll, her second song, she was fully clothed and did all that. But yeah, she was very close to being naked, but she wasn't.
Sure. She came out this afternoon and said, I was butt-ass naked.
Oh, did she?
Yep.
All right.
That's why they had to wrap her in a towel and they took her off.
All right, well, yeah. They were saying some of the audience...
And then they asked her today, and she's like, yeah, I was naked. That was the whole point.
Why is it okay when she does it, but when we do karaoke and I get naked, they ask me to leave?
People, yeah.
You're not on Saturday Night Live.
You know what? That's the difference.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Because they were saying they were saying on Sunday, they were like, well, there was walls to protect the audience from seeing her naked, this or that. I had not read up that she came out.
I just saw that come over.
All right.
Yeah,
the audience does not want walls to prevent them from seeing her naked. If you say, no. I mean, not to quote Ronald Reagan, but if you say Casey Musgraves is naked, be like, Saturday Night Live, tear down that wall. I want to see her jubblies.
I mean, right, pretty much any country singer, you can be like, all right, cool, I'm in.
You hear that, Blake Shelton?
Yeah, right. They did, obviously, on Weekend Update, play a little tribute there to Norm Macdonald, so that's what this sounded like.
It is a bittersweet night for us tonight.
Yeah, on September 14th, our friend Norm Macdonald passed away.
Norm is the reason that I ever wanted to do Weekend Update, and so tonight we thought we'd turn the last few jokes of Update over to Norm.
Thanks. I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the fake news. At the White House this week, President Clinton officially came out against same-sex marriages. What's more, the president said he is not too crazy about opposite-sex marriages either. A French man who calls himself the Snake Man was arrested this week after climbing up the side of a Manhattan high-rise. Yep, he climbed right up the side of a high-rise. Just like a snake. In a brilliant move during closing arguments, Simpson attorney Johnny Cochran put on the knit cap prosecutors say O.J. wore the night he committed the murders. Although O.J. may have hurt his case when he suddenly blurted out, hey, easy with that. That's my lucky stabbing hat. And that's the way it is, folks. Good night and good luck.
It is kind of crazy that Norm Macdonald got in trouble for all the O.J. jokes back in the day.
Yeah, it was a real big deal.
Right, but O.J. Simpson, if I'm remembering, was he on NBC when they had football?
I think it was.
Or was he was he on the network, and maybe that's why they were?
I might have the wrong name, but I think the guy's name was Dan Obermeyer, who was the head of NBC at the time.
All right,
and he was real good friends with O.J. Simpson.
All right.
So before all this went down, they had been tight for years, and I think they were even after the fact. And I think he just said, "Stop it." You know what I mean? Like, this is my buddy, and he can't do it.
Well, your buddy stabbed someone, man.
Yeah. I mean, I really think that was it.
Two of them.
And there was a lot of people there who did not think that his style of humor was that great. It was,
Sure, it's a different take on it.
But I sure loved it.
Yeah, all right. If I say Weekend Update, who do you think of first?
Well, right now, I think it's Shane Jost.
Right, but I'm saying, I feel like to me,
there's Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin back in the day.
There was Jimmy Fallon and Tina Fey, then Tina Fey,
Poehler. Right, Jimmy Fallon and Tina Fey were pretty big. I always go back to Kevin Nealon.
He was great too.
Yeah, he was really
for some, and I don't know, maybe it was just because at that era, that age I kind of got more of the jokes and everything.
Right.
So I do think, because you're right, obviously you think of Jost and Che now, but I think also you think of whoever the first person was. So for a lot of people, Norm Macdonald is.
He was
Weekend Update.
Seth Meyers did it for a while.
Yeah.
For a few years.
He's still doing it. He just does it on the talk show now.
Exactly.
Yeah, he still does it.
It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Seth Meyers was great at it, but that's basically all he does on a real talk show now. Have you guys seen Squid Games?
No.
So what is it going on? I just keep seeing the headlines.
A lot of controversy.
I could take the time to actually read it, but I'm like, yeah, I'm sure Ted will tell me.
Squid Games, I need to watch it. Basically, it's like there's games, and then it's like life or death.
All right.
So it's a Korean show. I think the only controversy is I think it's South Korea doesn't want to show it or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, people love it. I mean, you can't go anywhere right now if somebody asks it. Like this weekend, I think 3 different people asked me if I've been watching it.
So is it different competitions? Is it one competition or what? I don't know anything.
I feel like I saw one video in passing, and basically it is this very intense version of red light, green light. and it is literally red light, green light, and it looks like it's prisoners. I'm not entirely possible, but everybody's got the same uniform going on out there, and they're all running to this giant animatronic schoolgirl, basically.
Okay.
And I don't know what they're gunning towards other than the fact that they need to win this competition. But if she turns around and says red light and anybody moves, then all of a sudden there's a gunshot out of nowhere and down you go.
Right, there's different competitions that go on all the time. So you've seen versions of it, like some people do it right. So there's an episode where the contestants have to cut shapes out of these little candy discs called Dalaglona.
All right.
Yeah. Which is really hard as they're so brittle. If you watch the show, basically, you don't complete the task, you die. So there is one where it's like red light, green light. There's always these different tasks, but it's like competitive, and if you don't get it done, you die.
Yeah, I'd be real competitive too.
This is all fictional, right?
Right. It's an 8-part series.
People aren't really dying on the show, are they? That would be something else.
You probably would have heard about that by now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Any show that actually kills the contestants, generally makes the news.
Okay.
And, again, a lot more competitive.
Well, they haven't done it yet, so I'm just...
Yet. Anyhow, candy maker in Seoul, he made those candies, and now, thanks to the show, he can't keep up in demand. He said he could barely go home anymore because people are lined up outside his shop when it opens. They're selling more than 500 of them a day. He used to sell less than 200.
Damn. All right. Good for him, man.
Yeah, that's awesome for him. But yeah, his candy shop, he can't even go in there anymore because everybody's like, we need those discs. I'll probably watch that show this week. It is easily the hottest show in a long time. Everybody's talking about it.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, as opposed to I don't know. You can always watch the drug shows and whatever. All right, let's see. Mike, you brought up scary movies earlier.
Yeah.
Well, good news. This is the time where people want to watch scary movies. So if you're watching them on cable, AMC and Sci-Fi, they got they got horror movies all October.
Yeah, baby.
I was going to say, it was AMC's Fear Fest. That's already started up. They're going to have 680 hours of programming.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah. They'll have some original stuff like the new season of Eli Roth's History of Horror, new episodes of The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, and The Walking Dead World Beyond. Sci-Fi's originals include The Chucky Show and The Day of the Dead series.
Chucky Show.
The Chucky Show. And then there's a Day of the Dead series that pays homage to the George Romero zombie movies.
George Romero.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, homage. Makes me think of a burger. They're also going to remake of Slumber Party Massacre. I guess that was a huge 80s slasher film.
Slumber Party Massacre. All right.
Do they still make that many slasher films, or is that specifically an 80s thing?
I think it got big in the 80s, and then since then, it seems more or less you want to franchise it, right?
Yeah. Or it's more of a campy independent flick,
Yeah, the slashing thing definitely got huge. Thanks to Halloween. I want to say that's the one that kind of put that on the map.
Well, scrolling through, there's a handful of campy ones that are on Amazon Prime Video that I want to check out that are they're hour-long, obviously indie films that are just stupid. Like there's The Killer Sofa I want to check out. Llamageddon. It sounds really good.
What is the name of the double feature where there's two horror movies in a row? Tarantino and Rodriguez.
Grindhouse.
Grindhouse. That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, and that used to be a real thing back in the day, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You go to the movie theater and watch a double feature, but they're both quicker movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tarantino gets into that stuff. Let's see. They announced who the Super Bowl halftime show will be this year for the Super Bowl. And pretty simple. It's going to be Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, and Mary J. Blige.
There you go.
Right. It's in L.A., so I get why Dr. Dre's there, Snoop, Kendrick, Eminem, because he's on Dr. Dre's level or label, and has been there. I mean, he's a better rapper than Dr. Dre will ever hope to be. So you can imagine all that. Kendrick, I assume, also the LA factor.
LA, for sure.
I don't know. Maybe they were like, man, we could do this, but somebody needs to pimp that butterfly. Call Kendrick. Mary J. Blige, not really sure her connection here, other than she's probably the same age as Snoop. But I want to say Mike, I know she's a woman, but I'm pretty sure she's from New York. So I'm saying they all have LA ties or the label or something. I'm like, all right, Mary J. Blige is in there. Either way, that Super Bowl will be February 13th. So basically, man, I didn't realize the Super Bowl's on February 13th.
You can see that stadium tonight on Monday Night Football. But it's
is that where they're doing it? It's
in Los Angeles. Yeah. But I think they're in a lightning delay. So if you're going to watch that game, you got time to get home.
Well, they only have lightning inside there, apparently.
I think it's funny that the Chargers.
But I'm not positive that entire stadium is indoor.
I think the backside.
It's got like a glass roof, and I think there's certain sections of it that are open.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Didn't they push the Super Bowl because they extended the season by a week? Isn't that why it's so late in February?
Well, they extended it by a week, and they wanted to wrap it around with President's Day.
But I don't think that is President's Day, unfortunately.
Yeah, not this. I think starting the next season, they'll do it with the Sunday before President's Day.
Start getting the day off after the Super Bowl is a holiday.
That way you don't have to call out like we do all the time.
I wish they do it the same.
I'm sick again.
Why not do it the same weekend as President's Day?
No, that's what they're saying. It would be that Sunday before the Monday we observe it. That way,
all right,
get as drunk as you want, do your thing.
I just like this year, you figure if the 14th is a Monday, most people have to do Valentine's stuff on that Sunday. But now you can be like, oh, it's Super Bowl Sunday, honey. There's nothing we can do here.
Just eat this buffalo dip.
It's in the shape of a heart.
I love heartburn.
Miles, you mentioned it earlier. There is some Monday Night Football tonight. You have the Los Angeles Chargers hosting the Las Vegas Raiders, which just sounds weird to say.
It does. I just think of Raiders. I'm struggling with it.
The Los Angeles Raiders used to seem weird to say to me, too.
Well, and the weird thing is, when I was a kid, they moved to Oakland, this and that. I was convinced for years that Oakland was across the water from L.A. I didn't realize that Oakland's across the water from San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Because they kept moving, so I just assumed it was in between.
Right. Tonight's a battle of moving teams.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It is a battle of the moving teams.
Uh-huh.
And actually, that should be a pretty good game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got a couple, couple good quarterbacks, couple high-powered offenses. See what happens.
All right, thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to the Men's Room.
No one is slowing down in this hiring race for the right talent. That's why Principal wants to help you stay competitive by providing a comprehensive benefits package tailored to your company's and your team's needs. Because having the right benefits may help you reward and retain your team so they feel valued, motivated, and ready for the future. And that makes all the difference for your business. From large corporations to small and mid-sized businesses, Principal has the retirement and group benefits plans customized for your goals. Your company's future depends on its people. Give them the tools they need to succeed. Talk to your financial professional today about the right benefit plans from Principal. Principal Life Insurance Company, Des Moines, Iowa. For important information about our products, visit principal.com/disclosures.
Spoil Dad with the Father's Day at Lowe's, where you'll save big on the sweetest assortment of his favorite treats. Like a Craftsman 20-volt drill kit, was $79, now $69. Or gifts that sizzle, like a special buy Blackstone 28-inch griddle starter kit, now $278, valued at $329. There's nothing sweeter than Father's Day at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. While supplies last, about 6/9 through 6/15.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Iowa man who called in a bomb scare after not getting dipping sauce at McDonald's pleads guilty in court. Drug suspect says the meth he had was for medical usage, that he was going to snort. Lawyer who posted pic of speedometer reading 59 miles an hour tells judge a different story. A ninja attacked a special ops unit with a katana sword and the scene was gory. And a quick-thinking McDonald's worker in Michigan saves a customer's life in the drive-thru. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cock.
Top story. Whoopsie. There we are. Our top story, we go to Florida where a man was stopped at 2 in the morning. Police caught him riding a bicycle early in the morning without lights on, and a quick check found that he was a wanted fugitive after not showing up in court. While placing the man under arrest, he was searched by officers who found 2 glass pipes and a little over 10 grams of crystal meth. But he assured the officers that he was only using the methamphetamine for medicinal purposes.
Yeah, it's usually, prescribed by most doctors.
Exactly. What exactly
Ask
his
your
condition
doctor if
was.
methamphetamine is right for you.
Are you tired of wearing sleeves?
Side effects may include loss of appetite, loss of sleep,
Yes, you won't
loss
stop
of teeth,
chewing on an invisible
loss of friends, loss of family, loss of cash.
If you find yourself wailing in the middle of an intersection, stop taking methamphetamine and consult a professional.
Right. Would you like to live in your car?
Oh, man. In other news, over in Iowa, a man responded badly to not getting what he wanted. He had gone through the McDonald's drive-thru and had gotten 30 delicious pieces of chicken McNuggets to enjoy. The only problem was they had accidentally forgotten to add dipping sauces to his bag before he drove off. So he did what any sane person would do. He called in a bomb threat to the restaurant and also threatened to beat one of them up.
Jesus.
He was eventually found and arrested for making terroristic threats and has since pled guilty to the charges, landing him 12 months probation and a fine.
Now, look, let me tell you this. Look, I don't have a lot of food in my refrigerator.
Yep.
Ever, right? And I would be highly upset if I did not get my dipping sauce.
Absolutely.
But you would have to think that there would be something on the condiment side of your doors or anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that you could whip up real quick, whether it's just honey and mustard mixed together or anything.
Or crazy thought, put it in whatever warm space that you can, run back to the McDonald's and get your doggone dipping
hot sauce. I mean, surely you've got something you could use.
Right. Or even,
barbecue
you know
sauce.
what?
I mean, who doesn't have barbecue?
Yeah. The chicken nuggets on themselves are not terrible without the sauce.
You're right, but I feel like some places, like, I don't know, especially with McDonald's, like I want specifically that sweet sauce.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Again, I'm not going to let it ruin my day if it's forgotten. I get it. It's a bunch of minimum wage kids that's in there working. Man, they're hightailing it in there. Sometimes they forget. I ain't going to call in a bomb threat.
Well, no, that's ridiculous.
Gets a little over the top there. Over in the UK, a local barrister has a little more explaining to do. Like some others, he decided to take a playful jab at motorists waiting in line at the gas station as he rolled by in his electric Tesla. If you didn't know that they are dealing with a bit of a petrol shortage over there over the pond. Wanting to gloat a bit, he tweeted out a photo of the dash showing that he was in no need of fuel and could keep going by all the stations. While some laughed in fun with him, others pointed out that he shouldn't be using his phone while driving, regardless of his car having autopilot. He quickly denied taking the photo while he was driving, but after someone pointed out that the speedometer read 59, he suddenly had nothing to say. He's sitting there, no, I would never use my phone while driving. They said, it literally says 59 on your speedometer there, buddy.
That's unbelievable.
Total radio silence.
You're a lawyer. Look, if you're a cop or a lawyer, you know one thing, which is anytime a picture gets sent out,
right? Evidence.
It's evidence. It's by your own choice.
And if I need an attorney, you are not going to get a call from me.
No.
Not that guy. No. Not if you're that dumb.
Other than the fact that he knew that after he was caught, he just shut the hell up.
Just do that.
Right? That was his only good move in that entire exchange, was after he was dead to rights. He finally shut up. Idiot. Oh, man.
I'll take a breath now.
Yeah, that's right. You know what? I'm going to take a timeout. I'm going to hit the bench. In Michigan, a senior man got the help that he needed thanks to a quick-thinking McDonald's employee. We may have covered this a little bit earlier today. His wife had just picked him up from the senior center and immediately knew something was off. He was showing signs suggesting that he was experiencing a drop in blood sugar. He was walking off kilter. He couldn't barely get a sentence out of his mouth. Let's see, which would lead to diabetic shock and eventually leave him comatose. She went to the nearest McDonald's asking for an orange juice, but because of the pandemic, the kitchen was not open. She had to go through the drive-thru, and she asked if someone could run it out to them quickly after having explained the situation. The shift manager had experienced someone in diabetic distress before and knew to add more sugar to the orange juice to give him all that he needed. She did run it out to him. She did give him that orange juice, and he did come back.
I didn't know that. That's a good tip for anybody.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
orange juice? Orange juice does not have enough sugar in it in itself to...
So you had to add the sugar.
Exactly.
Huh.
To me, orange juice is plenty sweet.
Right?
I'm not a diabetic going into a shock.
There's the difference.
Tells you how low they get, though, is the problem.
It worked in Steel Magnolias.
I do remember at one time in a Boy Scout situation, a Scoutmaster go into a diabetic situation.
Really?
And we just jammed all the jelly that we had. Got him to eat all the jelly.
There you go.
Yeah.
What better place to go into a diabetic episode than
in the middle of nowhere? Mike, do you know the difference between jam and jelly?
Okay, we go to the wonderful world of the internet for the latest viral video. This particular video comes to us by TikTok, damn it, Miles, where someone decided to poke a little fun at the petrol shortage in the UK. It was actually done as a sequel to another video in which someone mocked the drivers waiting in line to fill their cars whilst riding by on a bike. In this video, they upped the ante with one of them riding by the drivers in line while on a horse, again, mocking them the whole time. Basically saying he runs on carrots.
That's on carrots.
Cheaper.
I wonder how many of these drivers are just getting fed up with everybody making jokes like, man, I already have to wait in here for a doggone hour just to fill up my car with gas. Thank you very much. Back to Florida, where local officials are condemning the act seen in a video. The video shows a woman driving her Mini Cooper convertible whilst holding a piece of furniture, a massive couch that is actually bigger than the car. She can be seen driving along the bridge on the freeway, which goes over another freeway, while the couch is sitting awkwardly inside of the convertible. And to top it all off, she's holding the couch with one hand instead of using any kind of rope or straps.
Of course.
This is just absolute brilliance, because that wind is totally not going to pick up and hit that couch at all. So they were saying, don't do that. And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Ryan Castle will join us. We will sit and spin, believe it or not, for your listening pleasure, the top 10 Bob Marley songs of all time.
Yes, indeed.
We'll see you on the flip side. Men's Room happy hours up next. More Men's Room exclusively on the Odyssey app.
That's right. In the meantime, we'll be all about this bitch for 90 seconds. So until then, please do what you do best and for Aletha's sakes, baby.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
No one is slowing down in this hiring race for the right talent. That's why Principal wants to help you stay competitive by providing a comprehensive benefits package tailored to your company's and your team's needs. Because having the right benefits may help you reward and retain your team so they feel valued, motivated, and ready for the future. And that makes all the difference for your business. From large corporations to small and mid-sized businesses, Principal has the retirement and group benefits plans customized for your goals. Your company's future depends on its people. Give them the tools they need to succeed. Talk to your financial professional today about the right benefit plans from Principal. Principal Life Insurance Company, Des Moines, Iowa. For important information about our products, visit principal.com/disclosures.
A dad in Lowe's feels just like being a kid again. This Father's Day, find prices to treat him to the gifts he craves. Like $60 savings on your choice of a DeWalt 20-volt max brushless drill or impact driver kit. Was $159, now $99. Or an Ego 615 CFM blower, everyday low price of $199. There's nothing sweeter than Father's Day at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. While supplies last, about 6/9 through 6/15.
The future will be amazing, and that's all well and good. But what about today? You can feel the rush of a 400-horsepower Nissan Z. Or climb to new heights in the all-terrain Nissan Frontier. Light up the road in the all-electric Nissan Ariya that feels like a sci-fi dream come true. The future will be great, but today is made for thrill. All you have to do is get in a Nissan and drive. 2023 Ariya and Z not yet available for purchase. Expected availability is this spring for 2023 Z and this fall for 2023 Ariya.